Hey, welcome back to my video. Okay, so I have something very interesting for you today. It has to do with the framework to your success in this online space. And I can say, if I or my business partner had something like this a year or a year and a half ago, we would have made so much progress and not needing to go through all the hassle and headaches to figure this out. So this right here is for you. Use it, apply it, and as you're building your business, care not what niche you're in, you can then go through this process and say, okay, I need to learn that, need to do this, because this right here is gold mines in regards to what we're seeing working, what we've applied, what should do and one shouldn't do, and what we're seeing brands and businesses, six-figure agencies, seven-figure agencies, and businesses out there, whether you're brick and mortar or you're online in the e-commerce space. This is a massive factor to decide that their success. Yeah, let me dive in. So right off the get-go, I want to dive into self-task and work task. And this right here is the back end. This is the involvement with the person, whoever you are, or if you have business partners, this is essentially what you'll be focusing on. It has to do with goal setting, discipline, learning, sleep slash rest, and the focus. So essentially speaking, a lot of persons, they start a business without understanding the mindset and the attitude that goes into business, goes into building a brand, building an agency, building something. You have to nurture it. But for you to build that business effectively, you have to bring yourself into that business, and you have to know what you want, you have to know why you want it, and most importantly, you have to be able to get up each and every day and towards that dream, knowing what to do or not to do, being able to fail, learn, keep at it. So, start off with goal setting. It's so important to know what you want, set goals. Discipline. I can't stress this enough. Your discipline, it will show you how far you're able to go, the risk you're able to take, things you're able to give up in this online space or whatever business or niche you're in. Your discipline factor. When I say discipline, I'm talking about what are things that you should be doing, but you're not doing it because of procrastination, because of whatever it is, or distractions, being entertain negative habits, negative self-doubts. Many of us, there are things that we know we should be doing and we lack discipline. So it's very important to understand that these are the mental frameworks that are needed as you start your journey, and discipline is an essential part of it. Again, any question you ask about any micro parts of what I'm explaining, do dive in, ask in the comment section. How do you build discipline? I can talk about that, and I can show the discipline flow I use on a day-to-day basis to actually, being able to show up, get what's needed to be done, and go through the efficiently, smoothly, and yeah, being okay with how everything is working. Learning is fundamental. The reason why you're watching this video is because you're curious. You want to see who am I, what am I talking about. So you already are in a mode of learning. Your learning curve is going to be 10x the more you dive into creating any form of business, and for anything really, a relationship. There are learning patterns that are required, and you have to really be willing to dive into parts of your business with the mindset and attitude of learning. Sleep, rest, I can't stress this enough. In our daily life, sleep is essential. We've heard this notion of 8 hours rest per night, but many of us don't take it serious enough, where your rest will dictate your mental attitude or your mental focus or your mental clarity going forward. Your ability to actually remain calm, remain focused, remain steady has a lot to do with your sleep and rest, and it goes into, last but not least, your focus. But these are your self tasks that you essentially will have to navigate through as a person, as an individual, and focus is essentially the fundamental part of creating any business, creating any framework to this online success, any project. And to the opposite side of this, we have the work task on the front end with business is concerned. These are areas of the businesses where many persons, as they're starting a business, they never really understand what they're doing, how they're doing it, or what's happening. Right, this right here are some of the major key points of a business, where if you can see this as it is, you'll understand, oh, okay, so where do I need to focus on? What part do I delegate? What part of the business do I outsource? Because when we were starting, we did not know what to do or how to do it. So essentially, we had all these ideas and we were hearing all this and all that, but without understanding, a structure or how to organize the entire flow to get things to move from phase one to phase two, phase two to phase 10. So the first one is content. If you watch my video talking about the key importance of organic content and why content is king and attention is a new art, and this is what's really happening right now. Social media is blowing up. So when it comes to inbound leads, come to building a personal brand, you have to gain attention through social media. So if you're not using social media, you're wasting your time. This is where the world is going, especially as the internet becomes fragmented and AI becomes more used and more talked about. You have to be known through social media, creating reels, creating long form content like the video I'm now producing this right here. So this is what's going on. Offers, and you'll hear me talk a bit about this right here, the Godfather offer. Marketing, systems, sales, copywriting, trends. So essentially speaking, these are all the key components of your business. These are all the micro parts. I mean, it's not all. I could have put operations, products, and services. We're going to talk about here again. But these are some of the key areas that as you start your business, you learn what you focus on, what you're looking at in terms of sales, learning how to build a proper team, didn't have team there, learning how to build systems, understanding how to write trends, marketing, creating good offers, understand the marketplace and such forth. So essentially, as I mentioned before, self-task is what you, the person, will be doing. Work task is what the business is really fundamentally built upon, and this is what I want you to understand, that there are these moving parts that you have to be able to approach and by yourself. You have to be able to look at yourself, and there's a business aspect where the business, for a business to grow and flow, there are all these subcategories and all these micro parts. So you have to get working, and you have to be able to optimize and understand what part of the business, based on what niche you're in, what business model you're using, where do you focus more of your attention on, where does your budget go, where is your budget being delegated towards, and such forth, or how much team do you hire, and all the intricacies dealing with this business model. So essentially, this is what's happening right here. And yeah, so at the core of this process, when it comes to building a business, niche research is fundamental, the core part of this. Niche research, we've all heard this. If you haven't, then let me be the first to explain to you the importance of niche, where they're saying that the riches are in the niches, where the niche is the business model, or it's the field that you're in. It is the marketplace. It is your type of customers. So for example, our agency, the business space that I'm in, is in the business coaching sector, and there are those who are in, they work with relationship coaches or life coaches. Every particular business model has a particular identification, which is that particular niche. The niche research is you getting to understand at a deeper level who is your customer, who are your clients, what is the psychological makeup of your client, what are their hopes, their dreams, their wants, what are their pain points, what is the things that they are wanting the most. And essentially all businesses, major businesses, I say all, but the fact of the matter is that 80% of businesses that we're looking at, that we've seen in the past year, when we were failing, we recognized that we did not really lock in and gain a solid understanding about the niche that we're in. We did not understand at an intimate level who we're serving, who we're delivering value to. So we're crafting these messages, we're creating ads, we're creating all this copy. But what we're creating, it was really all over the place. We thought we understood who we are, communicating with, but we didn't realize that a lot of our message was falling on deaf ears. So we always had to went back and optimize the funnel, optimize this process, optimize that process. And then we learned through intensive learning, as I mentioned earlier. You always have to keep learning, having discipline, being able to optimize, make errors, make mistakes, having mentors, figure things out. That we got real specific about who we're serving, and really getting real specific and real intimate with our customer, with our client base. And by doing that, we're able to create what we call a Godfather offer. In the market space, many persons call it an irresistible offer. I got the term Godfather from the one and only legend, Sabri Subri. So the Godfather offer, essentially, it is the most important part of your business. This is the message. And the Godfather offer, it is directly connected to the sales angle and the product or the service. So essentially speaking, this is the whatever content you're creating, whatever form of sales asset, whatever it is that you're delivering to whatever market space. What is the offer behind that? What are you offering to market space? To actually gain their attention, to gain their interest, to allow customers to jump on and say, okay, I like what you're offering, let me buy. And the Godfather offer, as the term Godfather states, is where your offer is overwhelmingly great, where the sales angle, the copy, the message, the product or the service, where you're in e-com or you're in SaaS or whatever business model you're operating in, when your offer is so great and your offer becomes better the more you understand your niche, the more you understand who you're serving. So one is connected to the other, and that is just the process, that how it works. So as you understand your niche, understand your avatar, understand your customers, your audience, you'll know what their issues are, what their pain points are. I'll dive into this in other videos. I'm just really giving you an overview here, to not make this video be an hour long. So, essentially speaking, the key component of your business, as as you figure out your self tasks, set your goals, creating dream modes, build discipline, gain books, learn, optimize your sleep, become more focused, and you focus, you start looking at the business, the content, the offers, the marketing, the system, the sales, copywriting, the trends, the teams. Then you start to do niche research, you dive into your gut for the offer, you begin to figure out what the market space need and what they are in, what is the pressing concern, what is the pressing issue. And competitor research has a lot to do with niche research. I'll dive into this in other videos, how you properly do niche research, how you actually know who are your audience, where to find your audience, how to communicate with your audience, what are the best type of tactics to use based on what niche you're in. And these are what you have to know for you to actually create a really great offer, because competition's at the all-time high, and fragmentation is at the all-time high. Ads are dying, content is becoming more. So for you to start brand new and be known and be seen in this market space, you need proper awareness and structure around your market space, around what you're offering, to cut through all the noise, remove all the bullshit, and get things done. So Godfather offer, the sales angle, how that message, how whatever this is, your sales angle is how it is presented to that market space, how it is said in a video, in a copy, whether it is through ads, long form, whether you're doing, outreach using appointment setters or VAs, or you're doing it yourself. Don't know why you're still doing that. You must be crazy, or you must love to lose if you're still doing outreach by yourself. Team guys, teams are important. Um, then you have client acquisition. These fundamental link to client acquisition, which is the bread and butter of your business. Client sales, it is oxygen of your business, and client acquisition has to do with lead generation, lead nurturing, and sales. Your ability to gain someone's attention, gain their interest, and have them actually you know, understand what you're saying. Just you have to educate the prospect, educate your client. Then you get them to buy in or lean into what you're saying, lean into what you're offering. Client acquisition is another key important part of any business structure. It is the most important part, actually, and it's the number one part that many people, many businesses actually have wrong. In our business, in our agency, 1 year ago, we were really great at running ads. We had great, you know, marketers. We had great individuals working in our agency. Our issue is that we did not understand client acquisition. We did not know how to predictably, gain prospects, how predictably bring them through a particular sales funnel where they could easily understand what we're saying. We could handle their objections. We could actually onboard them in a very satisfactory manner, and they would be satisfied and they would easily pay us the money based on the value we're offering, and we didn't need to you know, feel cheated or felt like we were, losing or leaving money on the table because our value wasn't good enough. And this is what we didn't have. And as we learned this, we started to pay attention to the market space, and we realized that this is a number one issue people are having on the client acquisition is directly connected to the niche, it's directly connected to your understanding of your audience, and it's directly connected to your offer. It's directly connected to your offer, niche research, and there are some parts to it. Having proper systems, having a team, having an onboarding process. There are moving parts, as I said earlier. But essentially, what I want to do right now is to simplify it to allow you to see an overview, and then if you want to let me know. I'll make longer form videos about each part of this. Yeah, so you can really gain insight into so that's what I need to do next. Then outside of that, client acquisition, you have inbound, outbound, getting attention, knowing where to find your audience, and client acquisition. So essentially speaking, this is what you end up with when your business is off the ground and running. Where inbound basically when you're getting clients are coming to you through your content, through the sales asset, through the type of products or the type of content you're producing online, whether it's on social media or it's on your website. In both when persons are willingly coming to you, asking you questions, wanting to join you. Outbound, when you're doing ads, outbound is when you are out there, you're sending out ads, you're sending out, your marketers, you're sending out appointment setters to actually gather leads. You're doing, lead generation, using different tools or software to actually, get leads. Then you contact these leads, whether you're doing through email marketing or cold call, cold DM. That's basically the two essential aspects that you're really left with after you figure essential what's happening within your client acquisition process, within your marketing, within your niche mastery, within creating or crafting a proper Godfather offer. Essentially, you figure out how to get attention, you know where to find your audience, especially at large. This is the biggest issue people are having right here. Guys, I'm giving you, value in terms of the gold mine of the biggest issue that brands and companies are facing right now is gaining attention, not knowing where to find their audience, and the entirety of around client acquisition, how to generate leads, how to nurture the leads, how to bring them through a communication, funnel where you educate them, you give them insight, you give them value, and you're able to get that person from just knowing about you to wanting to work with you or wanting to buy from you, then actually increasing that satisfaction to such an extent that they stick around, and thus their lifetime value increases tenfold, and now you have a loyal customer, and thus you build a community of followers who really love what you're offering. Then that goes into service delivery, client satisfaction, and then you giggle going to the bank. So essentially, this was a very short video, giving overview, a very eagle eyes perspective on some key important things that I know a lot of businesses don't understand. A lot of persons who are coming up, they're not able to see such a structure, and thus they spend so much time going over the place and understanding service delivery. How do you deliver service, the marketplace, the client satisfaction? How do you fulfill for your clients? So if you're in the SaaS, if you're offering a service, or if it's a product, how do you engage your clients effectively in terms of communication, in terms of actual building that proper intimacy between your brand, your company, and your audience and your customers, and how do you actually make enough money that allows you to essentially get what you want. So you're serving your audience and they're serving you. So it's that type of reciprocation that happens, and this is something where persons really do not look at. It is so simple, but simplicity is oftentimes the greatest sophistication, and many brands and individuals and agents owners miss these vital key points. and then essentially end of it you wash, rinse, and you repeat the entire process. This is essentially a very broad walkthrough of things that you can look at, you can actually optimize for, you can pay attention to what you're doing. And if you have any question, if you're interested in learning more, let me know. I'll dive into further videos around this. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope this video serve you.